Hey guys, I'm Jared, and today we're talking about what's new in board gaming as of December 30th, 2022. I'll be covering the latest news, announcements, most played games, hot new Kickstarters and crowdfunded games, and more related to board gaming for the past 2 weeks. At the end, I'll also be sharing what's going on behind the scenes with my YouTube channel, Meeple Mentor. So stick around, we've got a lot to cover. Leave me a like and comment on what kinds of updates that you want to hear more about. To make sure that you don't miss any of my news updates, new video tutorials, and our podcast episodes, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and your preferred streaming platform. Let's get started with some crowdfunding. Enemy at the Gates is a strategy tower defense game for 1 to 4 players, in which players control wizards to fight the incoming armies in waves. In this modern cooperative game set in a fantasy world, based on card draws and resource management, you must work together to keep off armies that are stronger than what you can handle. It's on GameFound until January 31st. Still want to celebrate the holiday season into the new year? 1 week till Christmas is a competitive 2 to 4 player Christmas themed area control game. Each team comes with their own deck of elves. Use item cards as weapons to arm your elves or supporters that help you make better gifts. Claim your work table or attack an elf already positioned on one, then create as many quality gifts as you can by owning more tables. But hurry, there's only 1 week till Christmas. You can back it on Kickstarter until January 12th. Gone Hunting, Pennsylvania is a hunting game for those who love to hunt, designed by a hunter. Create a unique hunting ground each game and see who earns the most trophies. Hunters place a map tile, an animal on the map, then take 3 actions, not the least of which is making a trophy. The hunter with the most trophy points wins. It's funding on Kickstarter until January 11th. Suffer and Inflict Suffering with Strange and Holy Miracles in Saints, a fast and complex card game. Explore the weird and fabulous lives of the Catholic saints in this unique game for 2 to 4 players that condenses the full complexity and strategy of a collectible card game into a single box. Lightning-fast gameplay and high-stakes decisions mean every moment counts, while Strange Abilities rewards players that use creative strategies. You can back it on Kickstarter until January 6th. Test your detective skills as you try to uncover the truth and expose the Mafia members among your friends in the Mafia game, The Battle for the East End. This card game is for 5 to 20 players ages 13 and up and plays in 30 to 90 minutes. Back it on Kickstarter until January 22nd. Circus Break is a 2 to 5 player card flipping game with hidden roles and abilities competing to escape the circus that is run by a horrible owner. Use character abilities, a variety of action cards, and experience game-changing events in this game for players ages 6 and up. Gameplay is 10 to 30 minutes, and you can back it on Kickstarter until January 11th. Barely Surviving is a turn-based strategy bear-themed board game. Play cards, collect resources, then spend them to create more workers or units. Collect all the roar cards to win. This is the last day to back this game on Kickstarter. Emotional Intelligence is a deduction party game about communicating personality traits using subjective this or that questions. The result is a fast-paced, sometimes contentious social deduction game perfect for players looking for both intrigue and unconventional conversation starters. It's for 2 to 6 players ages 14 and up and plays in 15 to 30 minutes. You can back it on Kickstarter until January 1st. K-Caloria gives you the chance to build an expansive and intricate food chain that must overcome obstacles at every turn. Sow the seeds to a thriving ecosystem in this tile placement game for 2 to 4 players ages 14 and up and playing in 30 to 60 minutes. You can back that on Kickstarter until January 2nd. War of Beasts is a self-published card game that is a strategy-based war game for 2 to 6 players for ages 7 and up and will take 15 to 30 minutes to play. Fight against one or many friends with this fun warlike card game for everyone. This is a twist on the classical game of war, which brings magical beasts and enhancements. It's funding on Kickstarter until January 4th. Ka Wars is a competitive card game for 2 to 4 players that uses 24 different frog characters and aims to reduce other players' life points to 0. The player who reduces the opponent's life to 0 wins. However, if the deck runs out of cards before the life point is settled, the player with the lowest life point wins. You can back it on Kickstarter until January 17th. Miasmatic Mayhem is a cooperative tabletop game where you fight monsters, collect upgrades, save citizens, and hopefully save the city. In Miasmatic Mayhem, you face a seemingly unstoppable force known only as the Miasma, a gigantic rampaging storm that seems to have a mind of its own. You and a few others make up a special team of skilled vigilantes called into the city of Bartlehaven to stop this mayhem. It's funding on Kickstarter until January 8th. Gather veggie patches and remember to be on the lookout for the Hangry Jackalopes. Hangry Jackalopes is a strategic card game similar to a mix between Uno and Goldfish. Players take turns drawing cards to create 3 sets of 2 veggie cards. The first one to complete all 3 sets wins the game. You can back it on Kickstarter until January 10th. Lastly, in the crowdfunding, have you ever dreamed of shooting cannonballs at your friends like there was no tomorrow? Well, then this is the game for you. Cannonades is a fast-paced, easy-to-pick-up, chaotic, fun little game. In short, each player is the captain of a fleet of pirate ships, and their goal is to sink all the opponent's ships, with cannonballs of course, and to remain the only pirate still afloat. It's for 1 to 5 players and has a playtime of 15 to 30 minutes. It's funding on Kickstarter until January 8th. Getting into the industry news, Bushiroad USA Inc. opened a pop-up store in Los Angeles, California, which will showcase exclusive titles in celebration of the company's 15th anniversary. The pop-up store will be located at 319 East 2nd Street, number 115, Los Angeles, California, and will feature a variety of exclusive merchandise not yet found at the Bushiroad Global Online Store or convention events. The store is open until January 8th. The Catan World Championships were held November 19th through 20th in Valletta, Malta, after a 4-year delay due to the ongoing pandemic. Held since 2002, the World Championships were live-streamed from Catan.com, and 87 contestants from 48 countries traded their sheep for wood in Klaus Tuber's classic Eurogame. Congratulations go to the winner Hamish Dean from New Zealand, who defeated finalists Emanuele Scapacticci from Italy, Eric Freeman from the USA, and Thomas Bostrup from Denmark. BoardGameTables.com is changing their name to AllPlay to more accurately reflect the company's products. The company, which was founded 8 years ago, started out producing board game tables and accompanying accessories. They have since branched out to bags, playmats, shelves, and board games. AllPlay will continue to publish board games focused on titles that are approachable and easy to learn while including strategic elements. North American marketing manager Danny Lowe gave a live stream presentation from Hatchet Board Games, which included many game and expansion announcements from the publisher. Gigamic Games, known for beautiful wooden abstract games such as Quarto and Pylos, has announced Kawail coming in February. GRRRE Games, the publisher behind the popular Nidavellir, has announced Rahua by Johannes Gupi and the Theo Riviere. For details on these and more titles from all the companies within Hatchet, check out Danny Lowe's video. Cephalofair Games has hired Ross Thompson to become their new marketing and crowdfunding manager. Thompson is a games industry veteran with 12 years of experience and has worked for companies such as Come On, Soda Pop Miniatures, USA Opoly, and IDW Publishing. In his new role, he will lead Cephalofair's crowdfunding efforts for their upcoming April 2023 Backer Kit campaign. Lastly, a rare Pokemon trading card released as part of a competition centered around Pokemon Snap was auctioned off for over $60,000. Featuring the Pokemon Chansey, a Pokemon known for its healing abilities and cute cry, the card has since taken the record for the most a Chansey card has ever been sold after being auctioned off for $63,000 by PWCC auctioneers. Next, let's look at newly announced games and expansions coming to retail. Namiji Aquamarine is the first expansion for Namiji, the spiritual sequel to Tokaido. The expansion contains all the stretch goals unlocked during Namiji's Kickstarter campaign. It has been announced that Asmodee will release it by Funforge into US retail. The expansion supports 2 to 5 players ages 8 and up and plays in 45 minutes. In other Asmodee news, they will release Isle of Skye Big Box from Lookout Games into retail on January 13th. Isle of Skye Big Box offers gamers an entry point into playing this Kennerspiel des Jahres 2016 winner. It comes with an updated version of the base game, as well as the Druids expansion and Tunnel Tiles mini expansion. This game is for 2 to 5 players ages 8 and up and plays in 30 to 60 minutes. They're also set to release Pan's Island into retail on January 13th. In Pan's Island, players set out to find the lost children who are hidden somewhere on the island after being kidnapped by Captain Hook. They will cooperate to track the children to different locations by drawing routes and clues onto the board with dry erase markers. This game is for 2 to 5 players ages 10 and up and plays in 45 to 60 minutes. DEF CON, a new area control war game by Giochi United, will also release into US retail January 13th. In DEF CON, players take control of one of 4 megapowers who are competing to rule a dystopian future world. An arms race has begun and players must try to gain as much consensus as they can before the game ends. This game is for 2 to 4 players ages 12 and up and plays in 60 minutes. Also announced is The Secret of the Pharaoh, a new adventure for Mystery House Adventures in a Box. The Secret of the Pharaoh takes place in a pyramid where players are seeking to unlock the mysteries that ancient Egyptians left behind thousands of years ago. Players will explore and find clues, then use those clues to find more passages through the 3D Pyramid Mystery House box. This expansion supports 1 to 5 players with the base game, ages 14 and up, and plays in 60 minutes. Finally, Asmodee will release Bad Company, a new heist game into US retail on January 20th. In Bad Company, players recruit members for their gang and attempt to complete heists. This game is for 1 to 6 players ages 8 and up and plays in 30 to 45 minutes. Atomic Mass Games is a relatively new branch under the Asmodee umbrella that has taken on the mantle of publishing Asmodee's miniatures games. Star Wars X-Wing, Armada, Legion, and Marvel Crisis Protocol are all under Atomic Mass, and the publisher has recently announced their newest line, Star Wars Shatterpoint. Shatterpoint is a skirmish miniatures combat game with the intent to bring back the nostalgia from the cartoons of the 80s and 90s. The first set of Shatterpoint is scheduled to release in June next year. Darrington Press, the Critical Role focused publisher, has announced that it will be releasing a 2-player storytelling board game called Till the Last Gasp. The upcoming board game will enable players to act out their own dramatic fighting scenarios in a cinematic fashion, centered around various scenarios wherein characters are in direct conflict with one another. Till the Last Gasp sees players exchanging blows, revealing secrets, and collaborating on a shared story between their characters. It will be available sometime in February or March. Publisher Resonim, with designers Mary Flanagan and Max Seldman, the team behind the popular party word game Phantom Inc., crowdfunded the real-time roll-and-write title Retrograde back in February 2022, and now copies are in the hands of backers. Retrograde has the look and feel of a frantic 1980s arcade shooter. Roll dice as fast as you can, create combos shown on target cards, and claim the best cards. However, evil droids are populating your sheets and need to be removed with targeted rolls. If your opponents all claim cards first, you only get 2 more re-rolls to try to maximize your score. Retrograde is scheduled to hit retail in late December. Cool Mini or Not announced the upcoming Stranger Things title Upside Down from designer Rob Daviau back in July. CMON recently released a live video with more information on this upcoming cooperative title. Upside Down is for 1 to 4 players who take control of 2 to 4 of the main characters within the world of Stranger Things. Characters have their own player boards that denote starting locations, abilities, and a fear track. 11 will always accompany the group as they work to relive the events of seasons 1 and 2 of the Netflix mega hit. In fact, there are 2 games within the box, each with their own winning conditions and each having its own board. Stranger Things Upside Down is coming straight to retail in 2023. Taiwanese publisher Emperor S4 debuted 2 of their new games at Essenspiel this past October. World Splitters by Romain Katerjian and Tony Chen is a unique area control game. On their turn, the active player places a fence, splitting the board into more regions. Then all other players secretly bid to place a meeple on a space adjacent to that fence. Starting with the highest bid, the active player can choose to either take the money and allow the bidder to place, or the active player can pay the amount of the bid and place their own meeple. As fenced regions are enclosed, bonuses are awarded and players score by area control. World Exchangers by Romain Katarjan and Smooks Chin is a simple buy and sell economic game with some cool roll and write elements. Players are super wealthy oligarchs buying and selling cities. Money gained and earned each turn is drawn as a graph extending a line each round, denoting a player's total money. If these lines go through any symbols on the dry erase sheet, players gain bonuses. So sometimes players may want to lose or gain value aiming for a symbol. Cities also have their own prime rounds to buy or sell, allowing even more bonuses. Set collection and value at the end of 12 rounds determines the winner. World Splitters and World Exchangers had a soft release at Essenspiel and should be more readily available soon. The publisher Button Shy Games is known for making 18-card micro-deck games and have published hundreds of the little gems since their start in 2014 with 6 Sons of the Sultan. Notable titles include Sprawlopolis, Tussie Mussie, and Circle the Wagons. And now, designers Dustin Dobson and Milan Sivkovic have released a seeming impossibility for microdeck games, an 18-card legacy title. Wild Tales: A Pirate Legacy is a cooperative adventure game for 1 to 2 players where you build your own empire by successfully navigating each chapter of a growing campaign. In true legacy fashion, choices permanently alter the story and the components. Wild Tales is still playable after the campaign is finished, using the newly customized deck and playing through random scenarios. Wild Tales: A Pirate Legacy was released into Button Shy's Black Friday sale along with a recharge pack and is available on their website. Explored unveiled Vampire the Masquerade Milan Uprising, a new board game exclusively for the Taburu system, which will be up for pre-order on GameFound. Explored launched the Taburu board game system back in 2019 as part of a team-up with Kaman. Now they are launching a new game for the Taburu system for the World of Darkness license. Vampire the Masquerade Milan Uprising is an original board game set in the World of Darkness's Milan, a city controlled by the Camarilla. Players assume the roles of anarchs attempting to free themselves of the oppressive politics of the Camarilla in this story-driven cooperative board game. This game is for 1 to 4 players ages 18 and up and plays in 40 to 90 minutes. Capstone Games is doing a quick solicit for Aleph Null, a new solo game shipping in January. The goal of the thematic reverse deck builder is to summon Prince Baphomet, the Sabbath Goat, and to avoid having cards in the player's hand, the main deck, or the discard pile, and to avoid having too many cards in play when it happens. Game time for the single player is 30 minutes. The Op is launching a tournament series for Disney's Sorcerer's Arena Epic Alliances, which will begin in January and end at Gen Con next year. Events will be held at stores around the country beginning January 14th at Mox Boarding House in Portland, Oregon, and January 15th at Mox Boarding House in Seattle from January through May. Events will also be held at Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio in June and at Gen Con. The Gen Con event will include a $10,000 prize pool for players who place. Regional prizes will include alternative character art standees, buttons, lanyards, promo cards, and lapel pins. One semifinalist will receive a travel package valued at $2,000 for airfare and 5 nights at the JW Marriott in Indianapolis and a 4-day pass to Gen Con. Pinebox Entertainment will release Doomtown Weird West Edition, a new base set for the Doomtown card game into retail in March 2023. The new base is aimed at entry-level players and includes 2 of each card, which allows players to build up to 3 playable decks. Pinebox recommends purchasing 2 base sets so that players can simultaneously build at least 1 deck from all 6 factions to accommodate up to 6 players. This game is for 1 to 6 players ages 12 and up and plays in 30 to 60 minutes. WizKids will release Your Best Life, a new flip and write game into retail in March 2023. In Your Best Life, players will be tasked with managing their happiness and joy as they tackle various life choices. Players select cards on each turn with the actions on them that help build up their character and family unit, then mark their actions on their individual and/or family sheets. Each turn, new life choices are flipped as players make their way down their life path. Game is ages 10 and up and plays in 45 minutes. Let's talk for a bit about what's happening on the Meeple Mentor YouTube channel. First, did you know we have a Patreon page? It's available for fans of the podcast and channel to pledge as a patron and support us here. There's various pledge levels for small monthly support that helps grow the channel's content. You can get access to new content early, you'll get to vote on new game tutorials that come out on the channel, and more. Head to Patreon at patreon.com/MeepleMentor. The most recent tutorial video I posted was for Perseverance Castaway Chronicles Episode 1 from Mindclash Games. It's an epic dice worker placement game themed around building up a civilization with the passengers of a cruise ship crashed on a dinosaur-filled island. It's great, and definitely check out how to play. My latest off-the-shelf recommendation video was on Sheriff of Nottingham, a fun bluffing game where players get to take turns as the judge. Learn more about it by checking out the vid. Holly and I also reviewed Avatar: The Last Airbender Fire Nation Rising by Viop Games. It's a light family-weight cooperative game about building up your team and taking on the bad guys through rolling dice. We don't have a lot of familiarity with the Avatar IP, but the game itself was pretty fun. Watch the video to hear all our thoughts on it. Lastly, I released an unboxing video yesterday for American Psycho, a killer game from Renegade Game Studios. I'm a big horror movie fan, so I'm really excited to check out this tabletop adaptation of the classic movie featuring Christian Bale and Jared Leto. See the components inside and the full unboxing vid on the channel. Thanks for tuning in to today's news update. I appreciate your support. And remember, teach when you can, but always be learning. See you next time.